Hello everybody, welcome back to my movie review series. Today we'll be discussing The Equalizer. So, putting around the Hulu looking for something to watch. Wanted to do a movie today, just recycling through all my different content creation. But I wanted to do, again, I have a bunch of movies that I've listed down that are old movies, like not old necessarily in time frame, just movies I haven't watched in a while that I really liked that I'm going to review. Or I just maybe think or just had some sort of remembrance of like this was something we should talk about. Or that I had at least made me think for something. So I wanted to do just something on Hulu, and so they had The Equalizer 2, but not The Equalizer. So I thought, I just watched The Equalizer 2. I've seen both of these before a while ago. I've seen The Equalizer relatively recently, probably within the past 6 months. I just felt weird doing an Equalizer 2 review without doing the Equalizer review. So we're starting off with this one. I have not watched this in a while. I remember the plot mostly, and like I said, I have watched it in the past 6 months. Just watched The Equalizer 2, which I'll be doing a review right after this one. But, so let's do, I'll read you the overview, and then after that, again, I'll give you my overall impressions and grade. After that, if you've not seen the movie and would like to, based on or not based on my recommendation or not recommendation, you're going to shut off the video because I will be discussing the plot synopsis and character development as best I can remember it, and discussing any major themes or similar movies. So, where's the overview? Here we go. Where's the... why don't we have a little introduction? They always have an introduction. I don't know. Because nothing works, that's why. Here we go. Robert McCall, Denzel Washington, as my mom would say, a man of mysterious origin who believes he has put the past behind him, dedicates himself to creating a quiet new life. However, when he meets Terry, Chloe Grace Moretz, a teenager, I don't even know if I have her up here, a teenager who has been manhandled by violent Russian mobsters, he simply cannot walk away. With a set of formidable skills, McCall comes out of self-imposed retirement and emerges as an avenging angel, ready to take down anyone who brutalizes the helpless. It's originally released on September 26, 2014, directed by Antoine Fuqua probably. But 3.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, wherever that is, 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, 79% liked it at Google, and 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So I don't know, I liked it. Again, my original impressions of this one, it's an action thriller. I was certainly thrilled with the action. So I'm going to give this an A-. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And a lot of the ones that I've already seen or I'm rewatching, I'm going off the base of, again, my initial enjoyment or how I felt about the film. So it's an action movie, shoot 'em up, bad guy, vigilante stuff. Not super much character development, just equalizing the bad guys. But I thought that the overall fight sequences, the tone, the presentation, the violence presentation, cinematography was all very well done. So, lower part of the well done range, that's what the A's are, B's are the entertainment range, C is like, what is this, D is actively off-putting, F is I turned off the show or left the theater, or shut off the movie in this case. But thoroughly enjoyed it, nothing super unique in terms of thought of the writing of the script, but as a well-done action movie, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm a fan of Denzel. So, it's Denzel, but my mom calls him Denzel, so I'll fucking call him Denzel. But, yeah, so those are my overall impressions and thoughts. And now if you've not watched the movie and would like to, you're going to shut off the movie, or off this video. And so this one opens up, again, I'll do the best I can, but like it says, there's this girl, Terry, I thought it was Mandy, but Terry, and she is a prostitute and escort in sex work. She has this, like, she has this pimp manhandler who's a Russian mobster. I do believe one of her like friends or fellow prostitutes gets killed. She makes friends with Robert McCall, who has the intro say he's just trying to live a low-down life. He goes to bookstores, he likes to read the books. His wife in the first one, I think, has already passed away in the first one. He's got like 100 books to read that is just either he made himself or has something to do with his wife. So his wife has passed away. He's got longtime friends. You don't really learn till quite later on that he's not just a vigilante, but he's probably this thing in CIA background. But he has got friends in Susan Plummer and Brian Plummer. But you basically just open up the movie. Robert is living this low-down life. He works at a department store where he's got a friend named Ralphie. And so he basically just tried to live a low-key life, and then he sees literally Terry getting like roughed up, or like he has like a conversation with her in a diner, but then sees her getting like roughed up and thrown into the back of a car. So that's when he starts going into the CIA mode investigation, gets like a business card, like tracks down these Russian mobsters, and finds out their headquarters or their base camp or this club area, and goes to confront them. Goes up there and is like, hey, I'll give you, I don't know, $5,000, $9,000, I forget what the actual dollar amount was, for Terry's release to not be part of your sex ring. And so the Russians, again, it's this like a nice clubhouse type area, upper floor, and there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them, and they're all kind of like chuckling and laughing about, who's this Joe gonna come take our business? We're tough mobsters. And so the guy, I forget, Pushkin is the biggest Russian mobster. I believe Slavy is the next guy that comes. But I think the first Russian dude that dies is the Nikolai Itchenko. But regardless, that's when you get he does this little timer thing where it's like zones in like the super CIA dude, and he's gonna neutralize he's gonna equalize all of the threats real quick. So he starts his watch, and then has a nice fight scene where he's murking one dude with an ice pick. He cuts a throat with something else. He wounds the Nikolai Itchenko character, kills all the other bodyguards, and then as Nikolai's like bubbling, like choking on his own blood, and he's like, who are you? And then, Robert McCall's like, you have 30 seconds before you bleed out, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think you really get much more information from them. That's really the overall plot development of this whole movie, is after he whacks this dude, this big Russian mobster is just looking to kill him for fucking up his business. And so from there on, again, you just have a bunch of different crime development. Ralphie, again, his mom owns like a little bakery or something. Ralphie's trying to go to school or become a security guard. He's trying to become a security guard, and they both work at the this hardware store. And so Robert McCall does a bunch of different equalizing bad scenarios, just a vigilante dude. And so Ralphie's mom gets extorted, and she has to pay, just like Shylocking, or not Shylocking, but literally just extortion. You have to pay us, or we'll threaten you, just like the state of Colorado has done to me. But she doesn't pay one day, and then so they burn down the bakery or whatever little shop Ralphie's mom has. So Robert obviously has something to say about that. He punishes those people. Again, I forget the actual sequence of events of this movie. But he also somebody else gets extorted just out of money from some dirty cops, makes them go give the money back. So it comes just minor plot developments there, but he's doing more than just whacking the random Russian dudes because of this girl. But regardless, now that is the main plot development of the rest of the season. And so you get this guy, I believe it's Slavy is the next guy that comes, but again, just another, supposed to be this real ominous character with a ton of bodies, kills a bunch of fucking people. And so they just go after Robert McCall from there. He keeps killing them. There's one scene where it's like this big bearded dude, Robert's already killed a couple of the people Slavy sent after him, and he's like, me and my people will handle it. And they're in this restaurant area, and this other dude walks out, this other hitman walks out, and literally not 2 minutes later, a minute later, Robert McCall comes in with his bloody glasses and drops it in Slavy's drink. And then you get some background and development of this Slavy character, where it's basically, again, Robert McCall, the presentation of the characterization is Robert McCall is telling Slavy a story of his own life, saying, I know everything about you as well. And so, because they can't really figure out who Robert McCall is for a little bit, but then they go to his apartment and stuff. But regardless, he tells them the story about, Slavy, I think, he had killed his parents or something. Basically, he was the characterization of an orphan boy that was just abandoned by his parents. And so he was at this go through the foster care or whatever in Russia, and he was afraid of getting left again, so he just killed his parents or something. So that's kind of the background of why he's this big bad enforcer dude for Vladimir Pushkin. And so that happens. He doesn't kill Slavy there, but he just drops the thing in there. He's like, I'm gonna keep hunting you. You can send as many as you want. I'm gonna keep coming for you. And then so Slavy decides to go after Ralphie, who is Robert's friend. And so Terry, I don't think the initial prostitute that starts all this, I don't really remember if she plays much more of a role till the end. She's kind of here and about, I don't know, but I just don't remember her playing a huge role after the initial start of the interactions between the Russians and Robert McCall. Regardless, so Slavy and his men, which I do believe Dan Bilzerian is this one, but he gets killed pretty quick. But yeah, he is in this one. And so they go to the hardware store where they're at, where they work, and they basically, they're going to kill or kidnap Ralphie. And so big fight scene, another 20-30 minute development of the movie is fighting towards the end of the movie. In this warehouse scene, Robert comes and kills a bunch of them. Ralphie gets injured, I believe. But again, just a big warehouse, like a Home Depot type of store where they cut the power, they're killing people, they're going through the aisles, throwing flash bombs. Okay, so before this, again, another minor development, but Robert McCall talked with his old CIA partners, the Susan Plummer and Brian Plummer, basically like, do I have the permission to go after all of these Russian people? It's going to cause some problem with the diplomacy or international relationships of the intelligence agencies. And so he does get the okay from the CIA to kind of backdoor okay to just go kill all these people. And so big fight scene in this hardware store. Ralphie gets injured. Robert McCall blows one dude up with a microwave, just putting something in the microwave, blows him up there. Kills another dude. I don't know, cuts his ankles, but there's some pretty extravagant kill scenes or just methods of killing in this one. But regardless, he gets Ralphie to safety. Actually, no. I think Ralphie does come back and help him. I think Robert is in some shit, like he's about to get killed by Slavy, and then Ralphie, who's escaped, comes back in and says never leave a man behind or something, which I think Robert had said to him earlier in the movie. And so Ralphie does come back, injures Slavy, and then McCall has a pretty extravagant kill scene of, I think it's a nail gun. He just shoots Slavy with a bunch of nail guns. So Slavy is now killed. Ralphie is shot, but stable and safe. And the last type of thing it does is, again, another extravagant. You just see Vladimir in his big Russian estate, and basically he's just in the shower, and the lights, the room starts flooding, and the lights start flickering. And so Robert's up there, and Vladimir's like, how much money can I pay you? And he's like, nothing. And it's Vladimir is like, so this is the guy behind all this thing that we're processing? He's like, yeah. And so he electrocutes him, just like the bathroom, in a big lavish bathroom, filling up with water, and it just electrocutes him somehow. Then when you see Robert McCall walking out of this big, Russian estate, all of the bodyguards are dead. So that's really the end of the movie, as best I can remember. Again, have not watched this one directly in several months. And when I did rewatch it, I only caught the back half of it. But more or less, that's the end of it. And then you get maybe some final scenes of Robert seeing Terry again getting on the bus, and she's reading books now too and having a great life or whatever. So in terms of actual character development, not much. But in terms of an action movie for being entertaining and being well done, I thought it was well done to me. So, thoroughly enjoyed The Equalizer. Right after this, I will be immediately recording the Equalizer review, the Equalizer 2 movie review. So thoroughly enjoyed it. Thought it was well directed, well produced. Nothing super unique in the writing script, but an action movie that moved along well, and I enjoyed it. So thank you for watching my movie review of The Equalizer, and I will see you on the next one.